mean, we're 26 now. That was like maybe 21, so
Uh-huh.
5 years, I think.
Yeah, yeah, that's so wild. I feel like just time. As a young parent, someone told me that the days are really slow, but the years go by fast. And I feel like that's how this industry is too. Is that sometimes you get so in the weeds in your daily life, and then it's like all of a sudden it's 2026. So that is crazy. Let me see. I know our topic today is basically tackling problems, not people, but sometimes we want to tackle people. And the relationship you have with that in rugby. Like, what are your correlations between tackling problems and like coaching rugby?
Yeah, so rugby's one of, if not my biggest passion. I started playing when I was a little boy and played all the way through school, high school, college, started coaching as well. So just, yeah, just fell in love with the game. And as a game itself, it's it's got some pretty strong values around leadership, teamwork, but probably the best thing that translates to business is it's a game for everyone, for all shapes and sizes. You know, if you are a 300-pound heavy set person that is not made for running, that's okay. We got a job for you, right? If you're the guy or girl that's always been too like that's always been told they're too small to do anything, you know, they're not athletic enough, that's okay. We actually have the perfect job for you at scrum half. So it's all about taking the strengths of different people and kind of amalgamating that into a team that can get behind a solid plan. And then sometimes you also just have to grind through it. So I think there's a lot of translations for business. But to come back to your main point about tackling, sometimes yeah, you just got to put your head down and hit something and give it your all. When it comes to rugby, sometimes it's better whenever you have a friend next to you that can help make that tackle. And sometimes, like for me, as always as a player, the best feeling wasn't scoring. It was actually it was tackling people. It was having someone who was way bigger than me, running at me with a look in their eye, a grin almost like I'm gonna run over you. You're the weak link in the chain, and then surprising them and knocking them back. So I think that's good in business as well. Is don't let people underestimate you and get ready to tackle.
No, I think that's huge. I'm trying to see if we are live or not. Um, it is not
It says
showing.
live on my screen. It says got like live and like 3 minutes 30, but it also says uploading, and we're at 95%.
Let's see. Let me see.
And now I'm at 98.
Yeah, no, I've already done it, so we're just gonna keep going. And if I've messed it up, I've messed it up. We'll upload it to YouTube and everything. I think that. Would you say that there is a commonality of restraint between playing rugby and playing in the professional world?
Yeah, I think so. That's the thing I love about rugby is like it's a collision sport, right? We talk about like contact sports, and there's some famous quotes like rugby's not a contact sport, ballet is a contact sport. You're lifting people. Rugby is a collision sport, and if you were to do things to people on the street that you do to them on a rugby pitch, you'd probably go to jail. So it's an extremely violent sport, but it has very, very clear rules. It has a very, very clear code of conduct around what you can and can't do. I think that's the same for business, right? We have think you're allowed to be aggressive and cheeky in some of the things you do in your tactics and how you want to implement your go-to-market plan and how you want to try and acquire new business or treat your customers, all those things. There's also some very clear do not do ever, or the whole community, the whole business, the whole sport, the whole sector will shun you and look down upon you. So yeah, and I think the same in most sports. There's always people looking to innovate. Um, that's always something that's excited me in sport and business, is finding that thing that you can do that will help elevate and escalate your success, and get enough of that before everybody else realizes what you're doing and then copies it, and then you got to go and do something else.
Right. I would say we're always pivoting. And I imagine there's a lot of pivoting in rugby.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's a
I didn't
move
know
called pivot actually. So yeah.
I didn't know if you know this, but Connor Swam, our founder of Finn, played rugby. He was a huge rugby player. So if you ever see him, you'll have to ask him
He's one
about.
of three, right? So is it the triplets running around together, the Swans?
I don't think so. I don't. I thought he was the only rugby player, but I could be wrong. I'll have to clarify with him. So, but yeah, it's not a sport that is big down here at all. Down here, I'm in Texas. George, what would you say like the percentage of people playing like where you're located? Is it a pretty popular sport?
I live in Canada now, and I would say similar to the States, it's certainly it's not unpopular, but it's competing with like American football, with soccer, with hockey is huge, obviously, all the other different athletics. The weather plays a massive part. Like you can't go and play rugby outside in the snow, whereas over in the UK and Europe, the winter it's just kind of wet, and so you
Mm,
go out, you play in the rain, you play in the mud. But yeah, I've always found that interesting because American football is the dominant sport in the States, and the NFL has amazing athletes, um, and most of which, from an athletic point of view, could walk onto a rugby team no problem, from their components of fitness point of view. But yeah, there just doesn't seem to be the same interest culturally. In Canada is growing, particularly the women's side. The women's Canadian rugby team are actually fantastic. They're a pretty cool story. They're a bunch of amateurs still. So these are women that are teachers, firefighters, and last year they went to the World Cup and went all the way to the finals and nearly beat England, who by comparison, fully
right.
professional. These are women that play rugby every week for their club teams in a professional league, have all of the money, all of the resources, and a bunch of Canadian girls got together and yeah, went toe to toe and play a really attractive brand, of fun rugby to watch. Like you get really excited. So that kind of got the whole country energized.
That is so fun. What a great story. Like a grassroots movement.
Yeah. Yeah, they were doing like their own like GoFundMe to be like, we need like money for like hotels, air travel, kit, and everything. So there wasn't a lot of interest until they started beating people, and then it's funny how success breeds success as well. Once people saw what they could do, and the style they were playing, yeah, there was a lot more donors, and then once they got through to the knockouts, more people were giving more and more money. I mean, by that stage, they had the money that they needed, but now they were able to seed more money for future operations and competitions.
That's amazing. With the MSP community, we know that money, um, I guess, efficiency or saving money is definitely in their best interest. Can you maybe talk about Roost and how Roost is helping MSPs operate more efficiently and, um, in the end, saving money? It definitely hits the bottom line, doesn't it?
It does, absolutely. I mean, a couple of key things. So for anyone who doesn't know Roost, it's an automation platform specifically built for MSPs. The first part around saving money is driving efficiency, and there's lots of layers to that. So uh, I've often heard Roost described as the conductor of an orchestra. If you think of the orchestra, is the array of different tools or musical instruments that MSPs use, whether it's your RMM, PSA, backup, Seam, Sock, or that there's such a variety in an
Hmm.
MSP stack. Roost is a platform that makes all of those tools or instruments play together in harmony, so you get a symphony. So just by actually enabling you to better use the stack you have. That's one big part. But automation in general is removing the drudgery from help desk. It is eliminating the manual repetitive tasks that nobody really wants to do. So that's creating efficiency on help desk. It is keeping your not only your clients happier, but your technicians happier by not having to sit and click through things over and over again. But perhaps most importantly, Mary, it's the reliability. It's saying this is the process and these are the exact things that need to happen every time. Let's have the robots do it. Let's use automation so it is done correct every single time. So we're not making mistakes. We're doing it in the same way. So no one needs to touch it. So it's freeing up manpower, and it's keeping your clients happy because they're getting exactly what they're paying for.
Well, and I would think those tasks aren't fun tasks anyway. You know, for a technician, not anything that gets them excited.
Well, exactly. No one signs. I mean, everyone. There's a lot of folks that want to get into the IT space. Sometimes you have to start wherever you start, but no one signs up to be an L1 technician to sit and manually reset passwords for 2 years.
Oh,
And MSPs always have this cycle where there is a lack of talent in the channel for technical resources. There's always a struggle to try and fill those seats. And so it's something that's not really talked about is keeping your staff happy. A way to keep them unhappy is to just have them in the corner doing manual ticket resolution the whole time, or dealing with cranky clients because something was spelled wrong or not done when it should have been done. These are all things that automation can fix if you have the processes established and locked in.
yeah. And I imagine deploying Roost is probably the most difficult part of the process. It's going to be like front loaded where you need to spend time getting it set up. But once you get it set up, then it saves you so much time in the future.
It absolutely saves you time in the future. Setting it up is as challenging as you want it to be. I think it's there's a lot of great usability. Well, there's a lot of great features and functionality that allow MSPs to get instant value. We actually have pre-built automations for some of the most common tasks and processes that MSPs want to run, like password resets. That's a great example, or providing privileged access management, password rotations. These are all things you can click two buttons. The create or pre-built is set up, and away you go. The challenge, Mary, is that people get very excited about automation. They go, wow, Roost is this dream machine. I can kind of really build anything I want. Wouldn't it be nice if? Or we started automation because we want to automate this massive goal, and you kind of get caught up in that. And so instead of maybe taking a few quick wins that compound over time, the biggest mistake I see MSPs make all the time is trying to automate the big thing. And all of a sudden, 5 months have gone by, they're only 30% into the way of completing that project, when that time they could have literally automated 30 other things that now are paying for Roost, paying for a lot of their other tools, keeping their clients happy, letting their chip technicians do more with their time, like learning about AI and automation, and, and all the while still chipping away at that big goal. So
Yeah.
small steps first, I think, is the key message.
I think that's probably most MSPs are entrepreneurs, it's their business. And I think that you want to tackle the whole problem at once, where, you know, if you think about building a house, it's done brick by brick. So we've got to, you know, start with that foundation, and then we can work on the walls and we can work on, you know, the extras. But I think that's really good advice, even for rugby players, is you've got to focus on the small things, and that way the, you know, whether it's working out daily, or I don't know what rugby players do to practice, but it's doing the little things right so that when you come together as a team, it just works.
Yeah, I think, greatness is a lot of small things done well, right? That's what you say. You want to be great in business, you want to be great in your sport, you want to be great as a parent, as a brother, as a friend. And so it's just a lot of things done well, day after day, workout after workout, meeting after meeting, email after email. Like, just build those small, consistent habits, and yeah, watch your value and your returns compound over time.
Yeah, I think that's just life. It truly is. Well, we do these. short little LinkedIn lives in 15 minutes, and you have filled up the 15 minutes wonderfully. So, George, it's always great to talk to you, and I'm sure I'll see you on the road. What's your next event?
I will be next week down in Orlando for the True Peer, True Methods group get together. But broader conference speaking, MSP GeekCon is coming up. So at the end of May, also down in Orlando. Will I see you there, Mary? I think you frequent that event from time to time.
We have in the past, we will not. We're actually doing a golf scramble on Saturday, May 16th. So we've got our head of sales, Josh Dubay, lives in Tampa, so he'll be driving to help host that. So
Wonderful.
yeah, and then PAX 8 Beyond, I believe, is the next one that I'll be at.
Nice. Salt Lake City. Fun to go somewhere a little bit more off the beaten path, right? That
Yes.
we frequented these conferences. So yeah, that'll be
Isn't
a
it always Orlando, Denver, Dallas, Nashville, Chicago?
Chicago. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it'd be good to get to a new city. So yeah, shout out to Paxi for yeah, being a little bit more differentiated there.
Exactly. Well, follow George, connect with him on LinkedIn, like the podcast, and keep following us. Y'all have a great day.